The Season 3 marketing has been amazing. The teaser was really good, and so was the marketing for Pyrois. Those are the two things that I want to talk about because Season 3 looks like it could be godlike. Roscolifer is an important city in New Eridu because it transfers a lot of data. What kind of data? No clue, but if I were to hazard a guess, it could be tracking holo activity, or maybe there's something in the atmosphere. A good sign for Season 3 is that there is a lot of natural curiosity. Why did Lady Sunbringer create Roscolifer? What's its purpose? And how does it affect New Eridu? There's a lot of good questions and a lot of directions that the story could take, so that's good news. The first half of the teaser was pretty decent. We get to see new characters and we even know their names. Obviously we already know Norma, Valina, Severian, and Remiel, but we also got introduced to Claret, Roxy, Sigrid, Phoenix, the Storyteller, and of course we actually get to see Lady Sunbringer in person. It was just so freaking peak, man. Now, personally, I'm not a fan of the character design so far in Season 3. If you had told me that these were from Honkai, I would have believed you. Now, there are small things that I like. The scar on Roxy's arm is interesting and I want to know more about it. Sigrid being a horse siren is interesting as well. I do have to say, I don't really like Lady Sunbringer's new design. It looks too much like Caesar and it looks like they're trying too hard to make it look sexy, so it ends up looking boring. It honestly feels a little forced and they're just overdoing it. Less is more in my opinion. Sex appeal and character design isn't a problem for me. I'm sure that writing wise, I'm going to enjoy the character, but I can't help but be disappointed with how some of the Season 3 designs look. We also didn't really see any full beast sirens or intelligent constructs, which is one of the design elements that actually makes Zenless' world stand out. It honestly feels like a missed opportunity. But I want to go back to more positive news because aside from aesthetics, I am very excited for Season 3's story. The second half of the trailer had a change in tone, and we see the storyteller controlling this sort of like liquid metal, and she says something ominous.
Prosperity is nothing more than a fleeting illusion. The source of that endless stream is neither human ingenuity nor a gift from the heavens above. It is a chasm of suffering.
Now clearly, Roscolifer is hiding something. Then we see Phoenix just chilling on some lava. It's all very mysterious and it looks like it's going to be some really interesting foreshadowing. I can't wait to go back to this and be like, oh, that's what that was. Now what I'm really excited for is that we're getting more Helios Academy lore. It looks like we're finally going to see who those characters were in that old photo of Belle and Wise. We can even see that these two have the same photo as the proxies. We also get this part with Severian.
Those who abandon their past cannot escape being hunted by it.
Roscolifer.
Obviously it looks like he has a connection to Roscolifer from his past, and I can't wait to see what that is. Then we get this ending where Remiel is confronting Lady Sunbringer because she wants answers, and honestly I can't wait to see how that scene plays out. Now the other thing I want to talk about is Pyrois. Pyrois' drip marketing was more interesting than I thought because it got me thinking about how this gives us more insight on what Kara Arna was researching. What we know about Pyrois so far is that it answers one of the questions that we've had in Zenless since 1.4. What was the deal with their eyes? We also know that Pyrois is a reference to one of the 4 horses that pulled Helios' chariot. Pyrois translates to the fiery one. The other 3 horses were Eos, Aethon, and Phlegon. I love that they're using the names of these horses, and I'm glad that the devs didn't just stop at Eos. It also means that there's potentially 2 more projects that the Phaethon siblings are going to control. According to the drip marketing, Belle and Wise have absorbed so much ether that now they're reaching its limit. What lies at the end of the aptitude for ether? From the start of the game, the first rule that was established was that when you have a low ether aptitude, you turn into an ethereal. But what happens when you reach the opposite end of the spectrum? What if you're able to control ether instead of being corrupted by it? It's possible that Pyrois is the answer. Instead of experiencing ether corruption, the siblings are able to manifest it into its own entity. However, it's clear that Pyrois is not easy to master. Pyrois also gives us some insight on what Kara Arna possibly was researching. Now, the easiest answer that I could come up with was that Kara Arna was researching ways to stop the Hollows. This is the mission of humanity, and it's the one that makes the most sense. We know that Eos is unique because he can be used to link to the HDD. As we've seen multiple times, Eos is perfect for navigating the Hollows and researching them from a distance. However, exploration tools are not the only things that are being developed. In order to defeat the Hollows, humanity needs a weapon, and the most effective force against Ethereals have been the Void Hunters, especially when we look at the Hoshimi family blade. The Hoshimi family sword draws its power from Talus. Now, there's a popular theory that Talus is an ethereal. The evidence is that we've only really seen Talus manifest inside of hollows, just like how ethereals can only exist within hollows, but we also know that the scabbard that Miyabi uses has a structure that is similar to a hollow, so it's able to keep Talus contained.
The smart data structure of this blade looks really familiar. Strange. It's like a labyrinth of hollow observation data. Is it meant to trap something inside the scabbard?
Then being able to tap into the power of an ethereal is a perfect weapon to combat the hollows. Either is already being used as an energy source, so this is just taking that one step further. We know that Kara was researching Void Hunter weapons. These weapons give insane power at a price, and they're perfect for defeating the biggest threats in New Eridu. If this power could be replicated, then it would be a major development that could turn the tide against the hollows, which is what I think Pyrois is. I think Pyrois is potentially Kara's attempt to weaponize ethereals. Now, where would this power come from? In the 3-pronged pack trailer, we see that messengers of the creator want to reclaim stolen authority.
Void Hunters? They're just lambs who were fooled onto the altar. Now that the Creator is back, their messengers will fight to the death to reclaim the authority that was stolen.
It's possible that these weapons contain a piece of the Creator's power. If this is true, then it makes sense why the Exaltus took Carol Arna. She was researching these weapons, and her research could have helped revive the Creator. Pyrois opens a lot of opportunities lore-wise, but also story-wise. From a story standpoint, it looks like Pyrois is a reaction to some of the big criticisms in Season 2. A big issue was that the siblings got their powers to go into the hollows way too quickly and way too easily. Season 3 looks like it's going to have Bell and Wise learning how to use and control Pyrois, which could be an interesting arc, and hopefully the writing team learned from the training arc with Yunque Summit. Pyrois also introduces an interesting question. How much can Bell and Wise take before their new power overwhelms them? By now, the community knows the Greek myth about Phaethon. Phaethon was the son of Helios, and he wanted to prove himself, so he took control of Helios' sun chariot. However, he lost control and was struck down by Zeus. It would be very interesting to see Bell and Wise deal with their new powers. The other criticism this addresses is that Bell and Wise needed to be saved too many times. The siblings would get caught by surprise and needed to be saved over and over again. Hopefully with Pyrois, this is going to be less of an occurrence and they can actually defend themselves. So just to recap, in Season 3 we're going to get AI lore with Yokai, Helios Academy lore, and Void Hunter lore. Season 3 is set up to be a very good arc. The only question is whether or not the writers can stick the landing. If this season doesn't get people excited for Zenless, then I don't know what will. Let me know how you guys feel about Season 3. I'll see you guys next time. It might be a week, it might be a year.